If you have a blue-tongued skink, these are 5 things you can do to improve your blue-tongued skink care. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Zoe, but most people know me as ZA Reptiles. And today we're going to talk about 5 things that I have personally done that I feel like really improved my blue-tongued skink care, and maybe you're going to want to try them out as well with your blue-tongued skink. So coming in at number 1, using cork rounds. Now I've done 2 different things with cork rounds. I bought a nice expensive really big cork round that originally I just put in his enclosure, so it was like a big tunnel that he could climb through, climb on top of, but it did take a lot of space. So eventually what I ended up doing was cutting that cork round in half, so I had 2 halves of a cork round, so he had 2 different sides that he could tunnel with and climb on top of. So instead of having one giant cork round sitting in the middle of his enclosure, I had different pieces of cork rounds that served the same purpose but in different areas, so there was more options. And then it looked a little better designed as opposed to having just a cork round sitting in the middle of his enclosure. But cork rounds are one of my favorite ways to provide very natural hides, still provide climbing, maybe even a basking area. So cork rounds have become one of my absolute favorite things ever to use in enclosures. The next thing is adding UVB. Now for many years, there's a debate on whether or not blue-tongued skinks needed UVB. Now these days people are saying yes, they need UVB. In my opinion and my general rule of thumb, if an animal is diurnal, and that means that they are out during the day getting that sunlight, they are getting UVB by nature. So why would we not give them UVB? I feel like that's a requirement. So definitely make sure you are providing your blue-tongued skink with UVB. So if you have a blue-tongued skink that doesn't have UVB, definitely today go put one in your shopping cart, hit order, and get it here ASAP so that your blue-tongued skink can have a nice, happy, healthy life basking in its heat and UVB. Next thing you can do to improve your blue-tongued skink care is give them deep substrate that they can dig in and burrow in. My blue-tongued skink Cusco absolutely loves to dig, and you'll just see the dirt just kind of like moving around a little bit as he's like crawling underneath it. So they will absolutely dig if given the opportunity to. And that's what we want to do as keepers. We want to make sure we're giving them a setup where they can explore any natural behaviors they may want to, like digging and burrowing. Now the next thing you can do, and besides cork rounds, this is my other absolute favorite thing to do for enclosures, and that is use leaf litter. Just scatter leaf litter all over. It gives more coverage for like hiding under, but it also just looks so good. So from an aesthetic side of things, leaf litter just makes your setup look more professional. And the 5th thing you can do, and I feel like this will be very helpful, a lot of people say, you know, I want to put live plants in their enclosure, but with how heavy bodied they are and how much they move around, the live plants don't last. So what I did, and what worked for me, is instead of taking a plant and planting it in the enclosure, I kept it in a pot and put the pot in the enclosure. That way the roots were protected, the roots weren't going to be affected by Cusco digging around, and that for me worked much, much better than planting plants actually in the enclosure. If you have a blue-tongued skink and you can think of more tips, leave them in the comments below so everyone can learn. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Bye!